Keeping traditional country music alive is crucial for preserving an important aspect of American culture. Traditional country music is deeply rooted in the history and traditions of rural America, and it tells the stories of hardworking people and their struggles, joys, and sorrows. It represents a unique blend of folk, blues, gospel, and bluegrass music that has been passed down from generation to generation. In today's world of modern country pop, it's important to keep traditional country music alive, to remind us of our roots and to honor the pioneers who paved the way for today's artists. By preserving traditional country music, we can ensure that future generations can appreciate and understand the importance of this uniquely American genre of music.
This album is dedicated to the thousands of today's independent artists who are creating this glorious music, and to the radio and streaming DJs and all music professionals around the world who are promoting it every day, every week, and every year. Thank you from Angel Entertainment and Haynes Productions here in New Orleans, Louisiana.
It's time for Fort Worth Musical Moments. Join us now as Steve Marquardt takes a look at the music and the artists who made the city's vibrant musical legacy what it is today. Well, welcome to Fort Worth Musical Moments. Brent Adams along with Steve Marquardt, and boy, do we have a show for you today. Boy, we've been waiting for this one. Hitched his horse to the hitching post there at Canal and Bourbon Street. It's one Johnny Angel. Johnny.
Oh, hello.
Welcome
I was
in,
just
man.
over here. I was just over at Felix's getting some oysters. I know, Brent, you love oysters.
It's one of my favorite hangouts. I love that place.
I'll save those for Steve, man.
Now for Steve? Okay, well, we're here walking down Bourbon Street, having a little stroll with some water. Pretty hot, but it's beautiful down here right now. We had a big rain last night, and it cleared up real nice for y'all. Hi, baby. Hello. Say hello to Steve and Brent, and give me your name.
Hi.
Belia and...
Hi. Wow.
You're on Texas TV right here.
Beautiful
Okay.
girls.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of charming girls in here.
Well, Johnny, can you hear us okay?
I hear you great. Well, here's my friend who's making a lot of cigars over here today. Say hello to Fort Worth Musical Moments.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for letting us into your place. So Johnny, this is just a block or two away from where you work every day, right?
Well, that's correct. I have a shop. Well, it's called Rooster Club. It's on 925 Common Street. Mary Zeppa owns it, and I work there on the Angel Cuts. Well, here's a beer for you, Steven. I know you want.
There. Yeah.
I don't know what it's doing over here, but I'm telling you.
I guess you're saying I need to wake up this morning. That's kind of a woke symbol.
Now let me show you this club over here. Now I didn't play at this club. I played at the club across the street, which you can't see right now because the damn Bud Light truck is here. But this club was right across the street from where I played.
Okay.
All right. And let me see if I can find it across the street here. It was a club called Swing Town.
When you play there, do they pay you in dollar bills?
Yeah, smelly dollar bills. All right. Well, I can't get into the club right now, but it was called Swing Town. It was the only club on Bourbon Street that you had to dress up for. And if you didn't dress up, they wouldn't let you in. It was kind of swanky that way. And the reason why I showed you the Hustler Club, because the man who owns Swingtown owns the Hustler Club. Now, my son Cheyenne was about 6 years old, and when he used to stay with me for summer, I used to have a babysitter. So Herb, who owned the Hustler Club, said, "Bring him across the street." And one of the girls was watching. Well, he had a bunch of girls on little G-strings and pasties watching him every night that I played. He had a good education, this 6-year-old.
All right.
All right, I'm going to duck into this little bar.
And where are we at right now?
This is the Absinthe.
Oh, this is the old Absinthe. Yeah. Great.
Well, you know what? I don't know, because that's changed a lot. Yeah, it is. It's the old Absinthe house.
As far as ancient, that's an old. I think Andrew Jackson used to drink there, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he's probably here behind the bar somewhere.
Him and Elvis.
Elvis, thank you. Hi, Doll. How are you? I'm doing a TV show called Fort Worth Musical Moments. Say hello.
She didn't.
Yeah, she said hello, but I can't tell if I'm not aiming at it anyhow.
She already thinks you've been overserved, Johnny. So
I'm what?
she thinks you've been overserved already.
Actually, I'm going to get a beer once this water's out.
Hey, why don't you sit down for a second and let's talk about your new album, and then we can continue our walking tour.
Oh, okay. Let's.
Because that's I mean, we love seeing New Orleans. It brings back a lot of memories. We got a lot to talk about on this project. Just from the finished product, I can tell these things just don't come together. You've been working on this a long time, have you not?
Oh yeah. It was 6 months in the making. Yeah, like I told you, this is a demo. I had written these 5 songs. Some are older that I refurbished and brought up to life. And I said, guys, let's go into a demo studio, to record them, see what it sounds like. So we went to the studio with my live show, my live band. And these guys did a hell of a job laying down some good rhythm tracks that really moved. And Adam Haynes would help me produce the tracks. He said, you know what, let's just go further and let's see what we got. So the end product is what we did. And now it's a master, and now it's out there to the world. Long days, short pay.
There's also a companion book that goes with us. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, the companion book is something I had always wanted to do. You know, when you used to buy an album and there were the credits on the album, who was playing what, who was the producer, who was the writer, the guitarist. So I decided to take it a few steps further. I put my songs on there with the chords. See, if you play guitar, you could follow along with me. Play those chords.
You even dumbed them down for me. That's good.
No, that's the way they were written. I play those cowboy chords. That's what I do, man. I'll let the real guitarists take over the magic on that.
Yeah.
But so I did the bios, which is important to me because these guys, they're great. And without them, it's just another bunch of songs in my drawer. You know that. So I wanted to have something tactile. You know, when you go to a store, you buy an album. It's in your hands, all right? It's in your hands. You're bonding with it. And I wanted people to sit with the record, listen to the stories, listen to the songs, and follow along and really get into the whole experience of Johnny Angel and El Dorado, and especially Long Day Short Pay.
Well, I'll tell you what, Johnny, I sat up last night. And I'd listened to this stuff before in the middle of the day when a lot of stuff was going on. But last night about, 12:30 or so, when everything was quiet, and I went back in my living room and just sat and had the lights down low and turned that thing on. And I swear I felt like I was listening to one of those old radio shows.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Really a cool experience. And
thank you.
There's some really interesting mix of music in there and content, which we can talk about in a minute. But I want to talk about and Brent, if I'm stepping on your program, let me know.
You're good. Roll with it.
That intro, the intro on what Chuck Cusimano talks, when he talks, then there's another segment in there that talks about the Stampede.
Right, the Stampede. Brian Stinson did the narration on that.
So that put me right there. I mean, and the sound effects are great, very well mixed.
Thank you.
Rich sound. It was. I felt like I was watching a big sweeping old John Ford epic movie or something. And
I bet you had your headphones on listening to that, huh? But you didn't try it with your headphones. You hear the stampede going from one ear to the other.
Yeah, and I thought that was really, really cool. I love that the old that cowboy culture thing. And I'm not a cowboy, but you kind of helped me feel like what it might be like to be caught up in all of that. And so how did you come to write all of that stuff? Because I don't see you, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see you as somebody that spent a lot of time on the range.
No, I didn't spend any time in the range. I ain't going to ride a bull. I don't know how. I ain't about to start right now. Books. 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 I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
I read a lot of books. Zane Grey was a favorite of mine. And I picked up old paperbacks from 1955 to 58. I revisited those books, and I picked up a few new books about cattle drives and the big ranch country in Texas way back in the day in the 1800s, and how the Civil War ended and the cattle drives begun because everyone needed beef. So reading a lot of books, I really took deep dives into the books, and it started my imagination. I figured, well, you know what? Let me try to write the essence in a short story about the cattle drives, about gunfighters, about stampedes. And I imagine myself in the character as I'm writing. I didn't want to make it too long because I don't have a large attention span. I guess a lot of people don't either. So it's about 1:47, 2 minutes the most. And it kind of fit with the whole concept of Long Day Short Pay, which is about the drovers on the cattle range and how they used to, at the end of the day, build their campfire and just commune with each other and tell stories and have good fun. And they did that for months along the range. So
you brought in some real cowboys. I know one for sure that we all know and love is Chuck Cusimano.
Oh yeah,
he's the real deal, And so that was a great choice for you to have him do that intro piece.
Well, Chuck was my only choice for that. I had met Chuck at the Academy of Western Arts where I met you, Steve. And just meeting him, you can feel his authentic self. And he has that great, great voice, and I loved it. So I wrote the piece, and there was only one voice in my head, and that was Chuck Cusimano. I remember calling him up and not asking him. I said, Chuck, I wrote this story about the cattle drive. It's the El Dorado team. It's going to open up my new record, and guess what? You're the narrator. I didn't give him a chance to say yes or no. I said, you're the narrator, and that's it.
Well, and Chuck,
so I'm glad. I was very happy that he said yes, and he did a hell of a job on it, I tell you.
Hey, we've got another one of those interludes queued up, The Gunfighter. Tell us about this one, then we'll play it.
The Gunfighter, oh yeah, I love those old gunfighter movies from the 30s through the 70s, especially the 70s, right? And the music that went along with the 70s. So I wrote this song, I wrote the story, and I'm saying, I need a twangy guitar. I need that Sergio Leone type of sound. And there's one man in this town who has that sound. His name is Ron Hotstream. He's a great songwriter, great singer, and he has that deep baritone voice. I said, well, he's going to play guitar on this, and he's going to do my narration. And I was very lucky to get him on this. So Ron Hotstream, he fit right in there.
Well, let's share this one so everybody can get a sense of what we're talking about here.
Right. Now,
The Western gunfighter was a feared figure, and for good reason. Nothing could quite prepare one for the vastness of the landscape, filled with suffocating dust storms that swirled in tandem with the loud clatter of Colt 44s echoing through the unforgiving expanse. A life filled with blood, whiskey, and danger. These men were hardened by circumstance, unrelenting in their pursuits, despite potential peril. It's no wonder they had such an intimidating reputation. Their swagger, their temper, their degenerate moral code, their meticulous marksmanship backed up by tales of heroic daring do that were often embellished to near mythical proportions. But make no mistake, there was nothing mythical about their courage or the price paid by those who chose this rugged way of life.
That'll get your attention.
You bet. You bet.
How was that? Did you like that?
Makes me shiver a little bit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's Ron Hustream and his little clanky guitar sound, and it's him doing the narration. Now, the orchestra is the AIVA orchestra from Luxembourg, who I had wrote the music for, and they orchestrated it, and I thought they did a great job.
I was going to ask you about that because they're listed in the credits. The Iva Orchestra of Luxembourg. Tell us about how that whole collaboration came about.
Well, one of my clients is the lead cello player for Louisiana Music for our Philharmonic, and he and I were going to write. I wrote this song, and he was going to help me orchestrate it. He happened to go to Europe. The whole orchestra, the whole Philharmonic went to Europe for a tour. And that left me like doing nothing. So I found this orchestra in Luxembourg. And what they do is you tell them what you want, the key that you want, the mood that you want, the kind of instruments that you want to hear. They create the sound, they create the music. They send you the stems. Steve, you know the stems are each individual track. The kettle drums, the violins, the voices, everything. So Adam Haynes got the stems, and he and I mixed it to make it go with the story and Ron's guitar. So it kind of worked out, I think.
Well, I think the mixing tells the story really well. It was brilliant the way it was mixed because it kind of sweeps across, this panel, this audio.
Just a small coffee, please.
Steve, not to get distracted, but I see a sign behind him for chocolate drizzled beignets.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm getting my little cafe au lait. When you come down to Bourbon Street, I'm at the Legends Cafe over here.
Well, Brent's eye on those beignets, I think.
You like the beignets, Brent?
Yeah, just like all the good gunfighters. A cafe au lait and a beignet, right?
I know, man. This is New Orleans, man. We have New Orleans gunfighters. They do with a little sense of taste. Here you go.
You know what they used, Brent, in the old West days to make coffee? They just stuffed coffee in an old dirty sock and stuck it in boiling water.
That's right.
Well, nothing wrong with that. As long as it's coffee, right?
Hey, we've got quite a few people chiming in here. Terry LeMaster, Terry LeMaster's wife, Peggy York, David Paul. You probably know a lot of these folks. Kim, boy, I'm telling you, I'm not good with names. Lori Tyson,
yeah.
Lori, an old friend that she made some great recordings with Claude Gray.
Lori's great. She wrote that song music that Claude Gray had a nice little run with.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that was a great thing for Claude and for Lori and for music in general. Let's see, Linda Deploy.
Linda Deploy, yeah. Oh yeah.
He said fantastic album. Marlene Marie Connors.
Are they asking any questions, or are they just like listening and seeing us?
Brian Stinson. I know, but we told.
Oh, Brian, say hello to Brian. Talking about the Stampede. He's the narrator for the Stampede, and Brian did his first live show he's a real cramps freak. And I forget the name of his band, but he did a hell of a job yesterday at the Poorhouse. Went to see his debut show. He did a great job, Brian. Sorry I didn't get to stick around to say hello.
Oh, that's better. Your sound got better. It was kind of muffled.
Oh, because you know what? I was in the cafe getting my cafe.
Yeah. Well, we told everybody if they want to ask questions, do so. And Brent, you may have some feeds there that I don't see because I think we get them coming from different sources. So.
Was that right? Okay.
Right now, I don't see any questions, but you have them. Drop them in there. We'd be glad to entertain them. Yeah,
and Johnny will even do a little dance in the street there. There you go.
Tap dancing.
It's the one city where you can do that and get away with it. Nobody bat an eyelash.
No,
man.
Yeah,
this is Le Bon Temps Relais. Have a good time.
Le Bon Temps Relais, yeah.
You let your hair down Bourbon Street or anywhere here in the French Quarter in New Orleans.
What I noticed, I don't know if it's still that way because it's been a while since I've really sashayed down Bourbon Street. But the deeper you go into Bourbon Street, the kind of the weirder it gets. Is that right?
Well, we're going deep into Bourbon Street now, Stevie.
All right. I know on
any places you'd like me to go?
Well, one of the voodoo shops down there would be cool.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, is Peggy Bordelon on the feed yet? She is the resident voodoo queen in the Rooster Club. She did a gree for me that attracted some beautiful luck. And let me tell you, it works. It works real good.
I don't see her on here, Brent. Maybe, and again, I don't know if we'd get all the.
Okay, well, if she pops on, we can talk about her and her voodoo and the things that she did.
Lynn Duploy wants to know, and I'm sorry, Lynn, if I'm massacring your name, but Lynn, do you know who Lynn Duploy? Lynn Duploy? You know?
I do.
Okay,
she's from South Africa.
She's asking, where do you buy the album?
Oh, where do I buy the album? Oh, that's a that's a very good question, Linda. You can come to my Facebook page and ask me to send you an album. It comes with the booklet. I don't know if any of you all have the booklet in front of you. It comes with the booklet, and I'm charging $25, includes the shipping.
That's a heck of
How about that? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I've got vintage trucker hats that you can buy too. They're really cool with the Eldorado logo.
Okay, cool.
So I met Chuck at the AWA and met you at the AWA. And there we met Billy Bowles. Oh, thank you for the hats. Billy Bowles had me on last week for the world premiere of Long Day Short Pay. There he is. He's a hell of a guy, and you know what? Without him leading the charge for independent artists, I don't know, man. I mean, there's a few other DJs that we know that promote independent artists. Here in Kentucky, one in northern Louisiana. I think you know that guy.
Yeah.
He was actually very good to me in the beginning, and played the hell out of a lot of my songs, as he did you.
Yep.
You got a good spin there. When you came out with your record, bro, that's what I heard. Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm forever grateful. It always astounds me that anybody would want to hear my music, you know, and never gets.
Well, no, come on, man. I first met you. Steve, when you first came on the scene, we were with Keith Phillips, Kent Gill, Dennis Ledbetter, Ron Christopher, Lonnie Spiker. Listen to these names: Scott Salford. But everyone was so talented. Billy Motto, let's not forget Billy Motto. Taking Wilson Swing in San Antonio, and Carlos Washington.
Yeah.
I met Billy Bowen later. Brady Bowen, not Billy Bowen. Brady Bowden. You know, there's so many great people in that organization, the AWA, and really sad to see it slow down a lot.
Well, and I'll tell you who you forgot the glue that holds all of that together, Johnny.
Dana Wood. Yeah, I was leading up to Dana because she is a dynamo, a real dynamo, and it was my pleasure to meet her. I met her at the AWA, and she told me about this thing that happened in Mineral Wells. It was only 2 weeks later, and I drove to Fort Worth. I said, you know what? This is a great group of people. I'm coming back. So I did go back, and I think I met, who did I meet? I met Eric Diamond there. I met H.D. Ainsworth there. I met Caesar Zuma.
Oh, Caesar.
That beautiful man. Oh, God, I'm going to be missing a bunch of people, and I'm sorry if you're listening. But, you know, the whole crew,
Well,
and you and your brother Michael, my God, man, you all stepped it up, brought it up to a few notches. And now you with the Clarksdale Creative Sound.
yeah,
You're making some noise, brother. You're making some noise.
well, we're trying. You know, I'm getting as much of a kick, maybe more of a kick, helping these other independent artists get heard and get the exposure they deserve, and maybe hopefully the money they deserve eventually. That's our whole deal, is figuring out how to more effectively monetize music through everything we're trying to do. And, you know, the key, one of the simple keys is just getting our music out to as many people as we possibly can, you know.
And I think what Dina's doing, she's got Eye to Eye Records, and I think they have a really good compensation. Oh, hi, girls. What are we doing here? What do we got here? Getting married. Nice.
He's a little young. Oh.
So Eye to Eye Records, I understand, is going to have a very good compensation for the independent artists. And I hope to be part of that.
Johnny, that's the way the splits should be. That's a much better compensation model, and that's what we're leaning towards too. You know, with other things that we're working on to. Oh,
you got something going on with that too?
Well, you know, with Dina, she'll be kind of the engine. But, you know, that's going to be. I mean, why reinvent the wheel when it's already there? And she's done a lot of the foundational work, so we can, and we'll talk about that later when we get a little bit closer. But that's some of the things we're working with. You know, with these guys with the American Country Network as well. You know, which is the final piece to getting the exposure that these artists deserve through that network, and they're going to put a big emphasis on an independent artist. So we're excited about that when that launches. And of course, you know, I'm grateful for meeting Brent Adams. You know, Brent, my partner in crime here. He's the one that somehow gets this show going every week and does a lot of other things. Does Kurt Riles Road Stories, and then he's got his Rural Strong Media radio thing and Tractors. I met him on the Tractors and Troubadours show,
and I heard that, and I said, "Wow, listen to this new voice, Brent Adams." And I said, "I got to know this guy." And Brent, where do you find the time to take your wife out? My God, you got 10 shows going on at one time.
Yeah, that's a sore subject. Let's move on.
Oh, Johnny Angel hit the nail. Sorry. I'm going to bring you to church now. St. Louis Cathedral.
The reason Brent has a lot of time to do his radio shows is his wife locks him out from 8 to about 6 in the evening.
Oh, so him and the dog go back in the house when it's time to eat, then, huh?
He's got precious girls and a great family. You know, we're all just trying to look. We're all just beggars helping each other find the food.
That's right.
You know what? Listen, we're not making money at this. We're spending a lot of more money, but I'm making memories meeting you and Brett and all the other fellows we just talked about. It's a community of really strong, independent, strong songwriters, strong singers, each encouraging each other. That's the word I want to say, encouraging. When I won the Western Vocalist of the Year, I was up against some heavy-duty hitters, and Billy Mata, who was up against, and I thought he should have won, but he wins everything else, so why not give me a chance? He came over to me and goes, "Johnny, welcome to the club. Welcome to the family." He made it into a family. And I said, you know what? That meant as much to me as winning the Will Rogers Award. It was wonderful. I mean, that's who does that?
Yeah, I agree. Well, you deserve it, you know. And I'll tell you what, Johnny, you're a great showman, You're not you're completely comfortable up there on stage, and that's
Thank
what
you.
I was kind of taken a little by surprise the first time I met you. And in fact, I met you after you took the stage. I just remember this guy walking up there, and I thought, my God, this guy looks like he stepped right out of Toy Story or something.
I heard that promo, and Dennis Hensley made me laugh. Goes, yeah, Steve Markley says, yeah, you look. What's this strange thing coming up on stage? Boy, he's strange looking.
And you know what?
I was cracking. No, I loved it. And Dennis Hensley goes, you know what? Who else they used to tell that to? Not that I'm comparing myself to, but Dennis said they used to say that about Elvis.
Yeah.
I said, well, how about that?
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, you don't, like I said, that's one of the things I admire about you is you're totally comfortable in your own skin. You're not afraid to get out there and just let it all hang out. And we need more of that. But you're also true to the roots of the music.
Well, I try to be. That's the main thing is the music, and doing it in a traditional style with traditional instruments. Always have fiddles in my music. Always have pedal steel guitar. Lots of tight harmonies.
Like you're at Jackson Square now.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Come over here, say hello. We're on Texas television right now. What's your name? Annie. And where y'all from? North Carolina. Nice to have you in town. I'm Johnny Angel, and this is Fort Worth Musical Moments. You can look it up online later.
How many Bloody Marys have y'all had already?
Steve Markley wants to know how many Bloody Marys you had already. They're lagging. They're just not. Oh yeah, let me know. I'll come work out with you. Call it Sally right up there. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so this is can you see it?
Yeah. Beautiful.
This is St. Louis Cathedral. It was wonderful in there. Let me turn this around. You see Andrew Jackson. It's kind of hard to see him. We got the sun in our eyes.
Yeah. Has there been some talk about removing that statue?
You got the probing my mind. Yeah, they wanted to remove this beautiful statue like they moved every other Confederate statue. Even though this is not a Confederate statue, they moved down Robert E. Lee. So you got a big tall pedestal with nothing on it. P.T. Beauregard had one of the most beautiful pedestals you ever seen. They destroyed it and took his statue away. And Jefferson Davis, all gone. There's no more Southern history here. They want to erase everything. Now they want to erase this guy.
Yeah.
You know what? Somebody told me it's called presentism. Did you hear that word, presentism?
No, but that's another one of those phrases. Yeah.
Well, that means trying to make these people think, well, that was wrong to do. We're about 200 years later. That's what it was back in the day, right?
You know what? There's a saying, and it's on a plaque on the wall at a concentration camp in Germany that I toured. It says, "Those that forget the past are doomed to repeat it." So, I think
right. Well, it's American history, whether you like it or not. And one of my stories that you played, that Brent played on top, is called "Cowboy Culture is American Culture," which basically means, I mean, all the people who came in from Europe and decided to go out west, they were pioneers. They had a lot of grit and determination, and they never say never. And that's the cowboy culture, I think, too.
Well, and let me tell you a story. Michael Martin Murphey, in fact, I think he intimates this story on my brother's documentary film, The Final Cut. At the studio with him a full day, and he's a historian as well as a fabulous artist. But and he talked about back at post Civil War that the government, one of the things they did for the freed slaves is them, the cliche-ish, but really true to life, 40 acres and a mule. The problem was when the African Americans got the 40 acres and a mule, nobody would extend them credit to buy seed and feed and all the things that necessary to be a farmer. So they finally gave up because they couldn't farm their land, and they left their 40 acres and rode their mule to Texas and became cowboys.
Oh, yeah. They were the original. They weren't cowboys then, right? They were called pioneers.
And they earned the respect of the other cowboys very quickly. So, yeah, there were probably was a little bit of discrimination and racism, but real quickly, from what I understand, what Michael says based on historical accounts, those black cowboys earned respect very quickly, and that was a big equalizer for all of them out on the range. A guy gets in trouble in a stampede, he's not going to reject the help of a black cowboy just because of his skin color. They're all equal, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think if people see you pulling your weight and not lagging behind, people don't respect you. It's
I think so too. But anyway, we don't want to get. That's about as political as we probably need to get.
Let's talk about the music.
Yeah, Brent.
Speak about political.
Well, again, the album is called Long Days and Short Pay, and we've got the title track queued up. Tell us about this one, then we'll roll it.
All right, so Chuck does the narration of the cattle drive, and the cattle drive goes right into Long Day Short Pay. This is my campfire song. I picture the cowboys sitting around the campfire. I picture the voices of the sons of the pioneers, and I picture them singing about their day of on the cattle drive. And play it.
Long day, short pay.
Long day, short pay. The sound of rumbling thunder. A storm across the valley is rolling along. Long day, short pay. Long day, short pay. Right until the work is done. The sun on our back mixed with dust and sweat. Long day, short pay. Maybe this will be a good year. Maybe it'll be a disaster. The change comes slow, we're still riding this trail, yearning for greener pasture. Long, long day, short pay. It's quiet at the end of the day. The coyotes howling at the moon. Long day, short pay. This be a good year, and maybe it'll be a disaster. The change comes slow, we're still riding this trail, yearning for greener pasture. Long, long, long day, short pay. It's quiet at the end of the day. Coyotes howling at the moon. Long day, short pay, short pay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Long day, short pay. Long day, short pay. Long day,
And I can fully relate to that one.
That sounds like it was could have been in the "Oh Brother, We're Out" though. We're out. I always get that tongue twister. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And like
I do.
Or something.
That was Peter Kaufman riding a horse that made that clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. Vic Shepard did the chromatic harmonica on that. Adam Haynes did some electric guitar on that and some low vocals. He has a good voice for low vocals. So that's my little campfire song. Thank you for playing it.
We have a statement. Let's see. Lori Tyson says, one of my bucket lists is to play guitar and sing in Jackson Square. Closest I ever got was under the Spring Street Bridge. You know, Lori, what were you doing under the Spring Street Bridge? Our buddy Eric Diamond, one of the hardest working guys in Western Swing, is listening. And so, and then Jackie Harris said, this is Jilly Podna. Jack Harris is listening. Sounds good. And then Lori Tyson again says, Johnny, you're a great storyteller. So,
Lori, come down to Jackson Square anytime, and I'll have a guitar and we'll bust together. You know, I used to bust down here with some other fellas.
Yeah.
We made $0. Zero.
Well,
and one day,
that's how Tommy Duncan got his start. So
one day, somebody lent me a little pooch, a little dog. Oh, the money we made in the guitar case after we had the little dog. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So the dog made more money than we did, but it was fun. It's a different kind of performance on the street.
Well, to wind it back a little bit, I mean, we've kind of just jumped into this whole tour of New Orleans here, but listening to your accent, I think people probably picked up on the fact that you're not originally from New Orleans. Take us back to where all this started for you, man.
Well, way back in the day, Johnny Angel grew up on Staten Island, New York. Staten Island, New York, if you don't know, is part of New York City. It's one of the 5 boroughs. And believe it or not, Staten Island, New York had a real country feel to it. Back when I was like 12, 13, I had a horse. It was a buckskin. We called it One-Eyed Mary. And before that, my older cousins, they had horses. My cousin Carl had one of the very first rodeos out in the south part of Staten Island, which was very rural back then. And there's a marker there. There's a landmark marker from the city of New York saying, hey, this is the Abilene Rodeo way back in the day. And they used to tell me when they were kids, they used to ride their horses. Michael and Carl, they used to ride it from one end of the island to the other and only cross 3 major highways, not highways, streets. That's all they used to do is 3 streets. There was nothing but hills, fields, streams. So I grew up at the way end of that, but I did experience some of that. And when they built the Verrazano Bridge, Staten Island became not a sleepy community anymore. It became more like a city. And, developers come in, they rape the land, and that whole sad story. But so I'm from New York. You can take the guy out of New York, but not his accent, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. That's my story. I'm sick into it.
People don't think of New York, and that part of New York is rural, but you're right. There's still a lot of rural areas out there. Pretty.
Well, look, Alan Reynolds, our good friend Alan Reynolds. How can I forget? He's a New Yorker. Right. WIOX Radio. He's upstate New York, and it's still country up there, Jack.
Yeah, that's the Catskills with all those resorts and things that were legendary back in the 50s.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. So Alan plays some wonderful country music, and he's a good historian, isn't he? I mean, he knows stories about all the singers, all the songwriters, and he has like 2 great shows. Saturday after Billy Bowles' show, I listen to him, and Sunday night at the radio truck stop. Right. If you really want to hear some old school country music, listen to Alan Reynolds.
Right. Just a good guy too.
So, yeah, absolutely.
So when did you decide to take your act down south to New Orleans?
Well, I had come down here on a vacation with a girlfriend of mine, and we had never been. So I said, look, let's go to New Orleans. It was middle of August, hotter than Hades. But I had music. I had new demos with me. I went all around the city with my demos to to all these radio stations, and I left them there and didn't think about it. 6 months later, I'm having a sushi with my cousin Gina in my apartment in Little Italy, and I get this phone call. I thought it was one of my friends busting my chops. Said, Johnny Angel, this is Barbara Hoover, WWOZ FM radio. I want to tell you, music is getting really popular here. That kind of voice, right? That real gruffly voice. I said, who the hell is this? Mango, is this you? Vinny, is this you? No, it's Barbara Hoover in New Orleans. So I listened to her. So she convinced me that I should go to New Orleans, make New Orleans my home base, and do my music down here. So I figured, you know what? If you're playing my music in New Orleans, not playing in New York at all. So it's one of those opportunities, guys, you know, you got to take it while it comes. So I took it, and I've been here over 25 years now. I love it. It's got a lot of culture, a lot of traditions that I just got deep into. And I don't know if I'll ever leave it, but lately there's some opportunities for me out west. So I'm going to be going out west later this month, and then October, and then maybe later after that. So out west, you might find me.
Well,
Remember I told you, Steve, I wanted to move to Fort Worth when I first met you, and how beautiful I love that city?
uh-huh.
Well, I think maybe San Antonio might be a place for me.
Yep.
But, oh, there you go. Yeah, I was there at the rodeo. I love that place. So we'll see what happens.
Well,
Like I said, I'm going out Phoenix in middle of this month. Then I'm going back to Las Vegas middle of October, and then I'll decide.
we'd love to see you whenever you come through Texas and come up to Fort Worth. You know, you always got a spot on the stage with us as we're.
Oh yeah, man! Hey, look, I want to come up to the National Lawn when you're doing your show. What's that? November?
Yeah, November 9th is when 9th, 10th, and 11th. We play on the 9th. So Chuck Cusimano and Country Enough opens. And he opens everything at noon, and then at 2:30, Robert Houston, our great friend Robert Houston and Western Swing Rules. These guys are Robert's maybe the foremost historian of Western Swing. I even my brother admits that Robert may know more about Western Swing than even he does.
Right.
So he opens at 2:30. He goes from 2:30 to 5:30, and then we take the stage at 5:30 all the way up to 8 o'clock or so, and then Jody Nix rounds out the Thursday evening festivities. But we got 3 days, as you can see. There's a huge list of great folks, including our buddy Billy Mata.
Oh yeah.
He's right there on Saturday afternoon. We got Drake Milligan kind of closing everything out, and Drake has been called the Elvis of country music. So he's a young guy that's really hitting it big, and we were lucky to get him before his stock went through the roof, I think.
Nice.
So yeah, you should.
Well, maybe you could squeeze me up on stage and do a song with you. You got Kurt Ryle doing your band, I'm sure.
Yeah, in fact, while we were listening to that song, my band leader Shane McCauley called me, and he's pulling all the guys together, and we're talking about rehearsals and all that. But Kurt sent him the charts a couple of days ago, so we've got a lot of original stuff. We got 3 other artists. We got Eric Diamond, Kerry Romero, and Jewel that are going to be on stage. But I bet we could fit you in.
All right. I'll get skinny enough to fit between Eric Diamond and you.
Yeah. You come.
All right.
You come. You take the time to get to Fort Worth. We'll accommodate you. So
that'd be beautiful. And I'll come all fresh and clean with my haircut.
Brent's going to be the MC, so he'll probably crack the whip on us. But anyway.
Well, good. Brent is doing a great job today. I got to tell you, it's fantastic. I had a little pre-interview with Brent the other day, checking out my earbuds, and we had a nice conversation walking along a busy street down by where I live. So I enjoy talking to Brent very much. But yeah, I would love to come up to Fort Worth in November and be part of your beautiful scene up there, because you put some PA system in the National Hall, don't you?
Yeah, we got a lighting. We put a lighting and a PA system in there. There's a photo of the lighting system the day they got it installed, and so it's pretty much state of the art stuff. The sound system has been designed specifically for that hall. They did all these sound wave readings and all of that kind of thing. So we're just waiting for the mixer boards to come in and the monitors, and then we're going to be testing that thing out a few days prior to the kickoff of the festival. And can't wait. It's going to be a whole new experience.
Well, I caught your very first show you did with the A-list band, and I tell you, kicked the hell out of it, man. You really did a great job, brother.
Well,
you really did.
It helps to have A-list players, that was the only name I could come up with for the band. I thought, what better name than to describe, the caliber? Because when I told Kurt Ryle, I said, Kurt, I want to field a band, but I want these guys to be the best possible. And he dug deep into his Texas connections, and of course got Shane McCauley, his old partner. They spent a lot of time together playing at the Stagecoach in Dallas, or the Longhorn Ballroom in Dallas with Dewey Groom. And so Shane, man, he pulled together a great group of guys. So I'm just, my whole thing since then, I've been so busy with all the other things going on with Clarksville Creative Sound and other businesses that I'm involved in. And so now we're at a point where we're going to have that hall available to us, and we're going to start doing regular shows there. So you better get to Texas. So.
Well, I'm going to do that. That's for sure. Well, I'm in the cathedral right now, so I'm going to talk low. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Kind of muffled a little bit, but yeah.
This is St. Louis Cathedral, built in, I don't remember, but it's one of the gorgeous basilicas here in New Orleans. And this is in the Jackson Square.
That thing is at least 200 years old, I think.
Oh, more than that. The city of New Orleans is 300 years old. So, this is quite old. All right. Wow, it's cool in here, too. So what else we got on the hit parade? I'm going to walk out because I don't know what the audio is like. Thank you, Don. This is our guys. You there?
We got you.
Oh, all right, cool. I'm out.
Got Ron Christopher's watching. That's good. Hello,
Oh, Ron, yes. Ron Christopher. He's a storyteller and a half, isn't he?
Here's somebody from Brooklyn, New York, Bernadette Lombardo. That's a great
name. Well, let me tell you, that is my baby sister.
Oh.
She is, right now, I'll tell you, she is in what's the name of the high school? She's in the high school. All her kids and the staff are watching you right now.
Nice.
This is in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Hello, Bernadette. I love you.
Well, all I got to say is forget about it.
Forget about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bernadette is one of the most sweetest girls in the world until you get on her wrong side. You ain't never seen trouble like you've seen her from her.
Well, she's a woman of conviction, and growing up with you, I'm sure she had to.
Yeah, I tortured her. I tortured her, but I protected her. But she protects herself. Let me tell you, there ain't no. She can handle herself. She's like the girl in My Cousin Vinny. Do you remember that movie?
Oh yeah, Marissa Tomei, she's brilliant.
The Marissa Tomei character, yeah, that's Bernadette right there.
Yeah, she says New Utrecht, if that's
New Utrecht, right? And Bensonhurst, it's right over the
high school. Yeah.
It's right over the Guinea Gangplank, the Verrazano Bridge. So she's been there for a while, and she's waiting to get the hell out of Staten Island. I think she'll be moving to Florida on the beach.
I love New York. I don't know that I can live there, but I sure enjoy visiting. And I love the historical aspect of New York. I think it's so cool that right in the heart of Manhattan, around all these glass and skyscrapers, there's a place like the St. Paul's Church tucked in there where George Washington prayed after his inauguration. Just amazing. That's the true heart of America, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, New York, unlike New Orleans, they're both port cities. That's why I think I really gravitated to New Orleans. Besides my music playing here, you have cross-cultural people from all around the world The food is amazing. And the local New Orleans are very, very friendly.
Well,
It took me a little.
Johnny, if you think about it, we wouldn't be enjoying the music that you and I love, the Western swing, if it weren't for New Orleans and the culture there that came together to form what we know as jazz music, you know, and all the pioneers, the guys like King Oliver, who was a mentor of Louis Armstrong, who, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Louis Armstrong reinvented modern time in music and broke all the rules and rewrote them. And that all started right there in New Orleans.
Well, it's funny that you're mentioning that, Steve. As you're talking about Louis Armstrong, I'm approaching a street band where Louis Armstrong, this is how he started in the streets of New Orleans. I'm going to show you these cats playing their horns over here. Hold on. All right, please just stop. I don't know if you can hear because I got earplugs in, but I'll show you. Do you hear this?
We can hear him faintly.
All right, well.
Yeah, I can hear it. Awesome. Give that guy a tip.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, give him $20 and I'll send you $20.
I could listen to that all day.
I could too.
Man.
Man, are you getting this?
Yes.
Amazing. Awesome. That was awesome.
That's a
great.
good time.
Every day, bro.
Amazing. What side street are you on?
How's your donuts, girls? How's your donuts?
What side street are you on?
Oh, yes. It's nice to come down, walking the street, and you hear the music. You're alive here. You really are. People have such a joy in their heart.
Are you on Bourbon?
No, I'm down on Decatur Street now. Now I walk down to the church. Now I'm walking along the river, the Mississippi River.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm going to cut over to the river for you in a few minutes.
Okay.
So I was saying, you come down here, this is nothing but 300-year-old buildings. Here's the old Two Jacks over here.
Yeah.
Now, you can find some authentic vintage photographs from way back 50, 100 years ago, and these buildings are the same since when they invented the camera. But yeah, so just walking down here, it's full of life.
So you're close to the river?
Yes, sir. That's where I'm walking to right now.
So you're not too
Hi,
far.
Bill. How are you? Good. What's your name? Molly. Come on, Molly. Let's take a picture. Molly wants to take a picture with me over here. Who's got the camera? I thought you want to take a. You're on TV right now. No, you're on TV right now. This is Brent Adams. That's Steve Marquardt. Brent is in Kentucky. Steve is he's in New Mexico right now, but they have a show called Fort Worth Musical Moments. Well, I got to roll, girls. Thank you. Friendly. We love tourists. You gotta love the tourists, man. They're the fuel that runs this economic engine called New Orleans. Without the tourists, we're just a city that's underwater. All right,
So
I'm making a right over here.
Johnny, let's talk a little bit more about your album here. We want to.
Oh yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
So
I'm just being a cheerleader.
Brent, do you have any other tracks queued up?
I do. Let me see here. We've got Fallen Angel. How about that one?
I think.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I made a note on that one. I said my thoughts were interesting, James Bond-esque feel. It's like, you know. And I said in parentheses, dangerous girl. And I said, and then I love your quote on one of your lyrics: "A jealous mind can lead to wrath. Who will help this angel on her path?"
Right. Well, again, it's a book I've been reading about, the B'nai Elohim. The B'nai Elohim were the fallen angels of God. And God, he told these angels, his sons, do not go to earth. But they didn't listen. And they all went to earth and they raped the women of Abraham. And they became fallen angels. They fell out of grace.
Wow,
That's part of the story. I put a woman who I know as one of the fallen angels, and I wrote the song about that. But it starts with the old Hebrew text, B'nai Elohim, B''Nai Elohim, Elohim. And if you do get into that Hebrew text, it goes deep. And the new Old Testament, they got some wild stories in there. So I wrote the story and wrote the song about that. Adam Hayes plays Spanish guitar on this. Harmonies, I think Carla, his wife, sings harmony on this. Anyhow, it's one of my more aggressive tracks, I would say, as far as lyric design goes. But thank you for noticing it.
Brent, I say let's give it a spin.
Yes, as Johnny takes a stroll along the Mississippi River, let's give it a spin.
Oh, yeah. Going up to the steamboats.
She was pushed or she fell, nobody knows. Heaven is still not talking. Did she come to me all on her own, or did the hand of fate come knocking? A blaze of light that fell to earth with the smell of sin of her rebirth. She's a fallen angel. Fallen angel. The color of a halo turned black and blue, her wings completely broken, but the beauty of the lines upon her face reveals a heart craving total devotion. A blaze of light that fell to earth with the smell of sin of a rebirth. She's a fallen angel. She's a fallen angel. God that lost her way, entered the world of Babel. With a fresh new vision, she'll find a way to give up the losing battle. A jealous mind just leads to wrath. Who will help this angel off this path? She's a fallen angel.
Oh, that last chord was kind of Bondish there, Steve.
It's my big old James Bond chord at the end.
Well, I had no idea, and now that since you brought it up, that's straight out of the Old Testament, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a I don't know. It's not too moralistic, but to me, I wrote a story about the fallen angel, not the lyrics to my story. I wrote an actual story. I tried to write a different story for every song in my songbook there. And that one I wrote about the actual angel falling and fell out of grace. And he can't get back to God. He can't get back to heaven. But he's there forever. It seems like forever. And he meets this one human who does help him get back to the gates of heaven. And the moral of the story is you don't know who you're touching when you give somebody a nice word or you do a nice gesture to somebody, and how that can lift them up into just make their day. So that's kind of what I was going for with the song.
Kind of leave somebody a little bit better than you found them, right?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's not hard to smile at somebody and say, "Hey, how are you?" and just talk with somebody. A lot of people over here are so lonely, man. It's hard, especially the homeless we have here in New Orleans. And you can't help all of them, but every now and then you try to. You know, a few bucks of water, a Coke, or food, you know.
Well, Jackie Harris says, "Uh-oh, Johnny Angel, fallen angel."
He caught me. He found me out. Come on, Jackie. I need help to get back to heaven now, man. Come on.
Harold Bennett paid you a compliment. He said, "This is extremely clean and clear. Sounds very tasty." No, very tasty.
Who said this?
Harold Bennett says, "This is extremely clean and clear. Extremely clean and clear sound. Very tasty tunes." So
Harold Bennett, he's a pisser, man. He used to be my neighbor. Funny story. One of my highlights working in New Orleans was opening up for Jerry Lee Lewis at the House of Blues. All right, long story short, I met Jerry Lee, we became friends, and I went to his house in Faraday where I met his sister and his nephew. His nephew comes down to, this is a quick story, his nephew comes down to New Orleans during Mardi Gras without a hotel room. Nothing. Him and his wife or his girlfriend come down. They calls me, "John, I can't find a hotel room. Can we crash with you?" I said, "Oh, yeah, of course. Come on down." I had an extra bedroom. So Jerry Lee Lewis's nephew and his wife came, and they never left. All right? They never left. Mardi Gras was over. Fat Tuesday happened. It was Ash Wednesday. We're a week or two into Lent. He's still a guest in my house. I said, "Okay, well, look, if you're going to be here, I don't mind you being here, but you're going to have to kick in, like, expenses." Man, I couldn't get him out of my house. It was like cockroaches in New Orleans. You just can't get rid of them. But Harold Bennett, he is a sneaky guy, man. He put a potato up the tailpipe of this guy's car. And he could not move his car ever. And he did some other stuff we won't talk about. Harold, he helped me get this guy out of my house for good. For good. But that's my Jerry Lee story and his family story. Oh, and Jackie, he's a comedian. He's a writer, and he used to write for me. I had a club here called, I had a show called Club Deuce. It was an interactive show featuring swing music. My singer at the time was Julia Lachey. I called her the blonde, the redhead canary. And Jackie was part of a comedy troupe with Bing 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 McGeechee, this guy Peter, and they wrote some really funny skits. In fact, I'm going to hire him to do something I'm working on right now, do a few skits, comedic skits, and don't want to talk about it too much, but you'll be hearing about it.
Great.
All right, here's the Dukes of Dixieland Dinner Jazz Cruise. That's the Natchez Steamboat.
Tilt your phone up a little bit. All we see is the weeds.
Oh, okay.
There we go. There, up, down, up.
Down a little. Now all we see is the New Orleans sky. There we go.
Is that the Jackson? Okay. That's the steamboat. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have it on a little tilt, so and I can't see where I am because
I think
the glare is so bright.
It's kind of like the city's getting behind on their landscaping a little bit.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the charm of New Orleans, isn't it? It's not really clean, but it's charming.
Yeah.
It's charming.
Natural beauty.
Well, it's here 300 some odd years, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a little dirty around the edges. And I think that's what makes New Orleans New Orleans. It's still dirty around the edges. And you guys, when you come down here, do your show down here, I'm going to take you around. Oh, you didn't know that? I'm going to have you guys come down to New Orleans. Mary Zeppa has some Airbnbs in the same building as Rooster Club. Mary, if you're listening, you got to get these two guys down, and you'll do a show here. Bring your wives and spend the weekend here.
I'm down for that.
Right, Steve?
I'm past due a visit to New Orleans for sure.
Well, come down. You do a show here, and then you have the rest of the weekend to explore New Orleans with Johnny Angel.
That's hard.
Now, I don't know if that you can't pass that up.
That's right.
But yeah. So who else is chiming in?
Well,
Lori Tyson, Linda. We got who else? Bernadette, my sister.
Harold Bennett saying some more things. Great music. Your swing sound. I actually bought that CD twice.
Thank you, Harold. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
And that's another thing. When you buy the CDs from Spotify, you realize that the artists don't really see anything about that. So if you can buy CDs from us, give us a call. You can reach me on Facebook and vend me the money. It's only $25. It includes the shipping.
Yeah.
And I'll send that right out to you with the booklet.
Again, grab some of that swag too, man. Those hats look killer.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted the old 70s vintage trucker look. And Dave Roberts did my logo, the Eldorado logo, and he's a really great artist. Thank you, Dave, if you're listening. And I have him printed, and I have him embroidered. The printed is $30, the embroidered is a little better quality, is $35. So you have your choice. I'm leaving the Mississippi right now. I'm going up to Decatur Street.
We're gonna have to start wrapping it up here.
All right.
We're supposed to go an hour, but we've been known to go over.
I appreciate the extra love you're giving me here right now.
Man, when you're having fun, I mean,
Okay, well, that's good. I have nowhere to go special right now, except I'm going to the hair mine later. Slaving the hair mine. Slicing and dicing.
You stay pretty busy in that barbershop?
Well, the summer slows down a lot. It really does. And you have to be cognizant of that. So you have to save your money because, the bills don't slow down. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What are the hot cuts these days? Do you get any special requests?
The King's cut, of course. Johnny Angel's King's cut. That's my special signature haircut.
Oh, yeah, hook Steve up with one of those when you get down there.
I need a new look. I need a new look, Johnny. You're gonna be my fashion
stylist, fashion guru. All right, yeah. Hey, come down. I'll give you a nice hot towel shave, you and Brent.
I like those chops too.
Oh, these?
Yeah.
You can get them under 5 and 10. Yeah, okay. You just got to cut them to size, and they're right.
That's great.
Yeah, I've been wearing. I think I've been wearing this hairstyle and sideburns since I was 12.
Wow.
Yeah, I have the mustache too.
Sideburns must be the Island water.
Steve was starting to grow some earlier this week, but he went and shaved.
I know. I was starting to look like Grizzly Adams. I'm afraid.
I look like Grizzly Adams during COVID. I didn't shave, so I had a lot of facial hair and mustache, and it was pretty cool. Hi, honey. How are you? I enjoyed it. Maybe I'll wear that again. I don't know. Depends. But yeah. Are you gonna play? How you doing, guys? How you doing, man? You guys gonna play Pride Comes Before the Fall?
Have that queued up. That's the last one I've got queued up. So
is it? Okay.
That'd be a good one to kind of wind things down with. Tell us about this song.
Well, basically, It's about people who have a big imagination of themselves. They're filled with hubris. They pontificate about everything. They think what they're saying is the absolute truth, no matter what. And I've been like that, I guess, and there's a lot of people like that. But that's my song for that kind of person. And maybe she knows that he's like that and doesn't care, but it comes to a time where you're going to have enough rope and you're going to hang yourself, and a lot of people are going to see the kind of crap that you really are, and how non-genuous you are, and how inauthentic you are. You're riding the coattails of a lot of different people and think it's your own. But you know what? To those people, I say, God bless you. Live your life the way you do, and I love you anyhow. What do you think, Steve?
You know, those people that you describe, and I've been that way before. I had an overblown sense of self-importance and realized that it's a hard knock when you realize I'm not the center of the universe, you know. And to put it simply, one of my spiritual mentors, may he rest in peace, just used to tell me, just remember, Steve, your ego is not your amigo.
That's a good line right there. Let's write a song about that. Yeah, so it's a love song to these kind of people, which I include myself in. Just to be sure.
On that note, let's roll it.
If we were perfect, we wouldn't need God, would we?
That's correct, sir. And I thank God to know you and Brent and giving me this time on your station here. I really enjoyed my time here with you. And Steve, I'm coming up in November. Put me in the lineup, Coach. Put me in the lineup.
All right, brother. We'll make a spot for you. You come on up, and thank you for the walk through Bourbon Street. Makes me really want to. I can almost smell the different aromas as you're walking. Some good.
And the ones you don't want to smell. But seriously, think about doing the Fort Worth musical moments in New Orleans one weekend. We can make it happen.
Yeah,
it'd be fantastic.
That'd be fun.
I love it. I'm down with it. Let's play this song, and then we'll come back for official goodbyes and wind this thing up. Here we go.
Show your fans all the hubris you can cram between 6 and 8. 5 days a week is not enough time to showcase this sad trade. You've awakened a creature called Nemesis. She now rides your trail. You can twist and turn, but she won't quit until she sees you fail. Pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall. Grown up on a popo cotton farm is what you always say, but you left any sense of humility there somewhere along the way. You cracked over a rib to repair your heart, yeah, you earned another stride, but the rattling has begun. Believing in your own high. Pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall.
pretending to be with me, so you think you know. I'm against hang is what you do. You're giving enough rope. Man is coming two sides, the good and the bad. There's a lot of me that I see in you, and this is driving me mad. Pride comes, pride comes, pride comes before the fall.
Yes, yes. And when I heard the intro to that, the first thing I thought of was the intro to Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean.
Oh yeah, you caught my little Waylon reference.
Bus.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's the same old song.
Man.
That's that old boom, boom, boom. That's my Waylon reference. Very good, guys. I'm glad that you caught that.
Good tune. We've got a viewer from Ireland. It looks like Mary Doherty Buccini. Hello from Ireland. So thank you, Mary, for tuning in.
Hey, we've got another special guest watching today, man, and this one always it warms my heart when I see it. Lucy Dean Record on here.
Oh, I love Lucy Dean. Hi, Lucy Dean.
How awesome is that?
She's a sweetheart.
I'm hoping
Absolute sweetheart.
I hope Lucy will get up and play with us at the festival. I don't think we need to twist her arm too much, but
she's not too shy, is she?
We always love what a legend she is. She is
she is great for the young age of hers.
Man.
But if I may, I'd just like to talk about Mark Allen Jerry played the bass. All right. Peter Coughlin was the drummer. Joe Minor, we're going to talk about Joe Minor. He played all the pedal steel guitar. And Greg Holt did all the fiddles. That's kind of the core of Johnny Angel Eldorado live show. So those guys, man, they're awesome. And thank you very much, fellas. Without you, I could not have done it.
Those guys knocked it out of the park, Johnny, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. It means a lot coming from you. But here I am in front of the founder of New Orleans, Jean-Baptiste Bienville. They even named a street after him. How about that? He's the founder right here. You see that?
Okay.
And we're in this little triangle.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the tour.
Beautiful stuff, man. That has been a great tour, man. Thank you so much.
Well, you know what? When I thought about it, I said, I love your show. I said, why don't I do something just a little different? Not to step on your format so much, but I found a decent selfie stick and decent earbuds. I'm glad they work well for you. I said, let's just take these guys a little tour around New Orleans and see where I live and the atmosphere I'm in right now. And there's a lot of swing music here, and all I did was put a cowboy hat on it, put some pedal steel guitar on it, and made it Western swing.
Well, I think
swing country, as Billy Bowles would say.
Absolutely. I think the thing to do now, Steve, is to name him as our technical director here and have him coach our future guests here.
Yeah, I think we need to give Johnny a stipend for travel, and every week she shows up at a different locale. How's that?
I like that. I could give it a little tour. You know, for all your artists that are coming on, I bought Samsung earbuds. Samsung, they're not expensive. They're about $100. And hopefully they work well for your show.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah.
Man.
It's been great. It's been great. We appreciate it, and you got your morning exercise in too, so that's good.
Oh yeah, that's right, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the nice
Get
new
the exercise in before I go in cutting hair.
Well, Johnny, hey, congratulations again. Great stuff. Not only the album, the musicians, like I said, they knocked it out of the park, and I think it's really cool that you did it all live in studio. You don't see that very often, and you guys nailed it. And in the book, I mean, I know you put a lot of work and thought into all of this.
Yeah.
It does not escape us, and so we appreciate you sharing that with us, and look forward to diving into that music even more. It gets better every time I listen to it, and so
Thank you.
Everybody that's watching, get out there. Johnny, tell them how they can get this album and this booklet.
Sure. Well, before I2I Records comes online with Johnny Angel, come to my Facebook page. You can Google Johnny Angel in New Orleans. You'll see everything written about Johnny Angel. Some of it's true. But come to the Facebook page and Venmo me $25, and I'll make sure I get this sent out to you too sweet.
Great. And then
my Venmo address, I guess you should know that, is Johnny Angel Eldorado. All one word. Johnny, Johnny, Angel, Angel, Eldorado. HELLDORADO. It's all written there. You'll find it.
I see Dina Wood put that up on the screen.
Thank you, Dina. You know what? Without TLC Productions, man, there's a lot of this that I would not be getting. Thank you, Dina. I love you.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Actually, put it up, but Dina posted that. So eventually, you will be able to buy that through Dina's I2I Records, which we got huge plans for her. I can tell you.
Yeah, well, she's the girl you would need in your corner, without a doubt. She did a few videos for me. Wow, beautiful.
So my brother just chimed in, Mike, and he
hello,
said,
Mike.
Fantastic show featuring the great Johnny Angel. We definitely need to get Johnny on stage with the A-list swing band. So, Mike, we already talked about that. You're late to the party. So,
thank you, Michael, and I'm looking forward to having his great film down here in New Orleans. He needs to debut it here in New Orleans because swing was born here in New Orleans, right? Before it went north, before it went east, and before it went west, it was right here. With Louis Armstrong, Big, and all those great guys.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, man.
Well, thank you very much
for that. Hey, before we get out of here, we got to mention a few milestones here. Starting out with today being the 45th anniversary of Bobby Mackey's America's Honky Tonk in Wilder, Kentucky.
Bobby Mackey. Love him.
Shout out to Bobby, and congratulations on 45 great years of keeping traditional country music alive there in the greater Cincinnati area.
There's a new song I call it Nita.
Yes.
Or Nita something. Great song.
Great one. You mentioned earlier our friend Scott Southworth. He dropped a new album here this week, coming round to honky tonk again. So
fantastic. Scott is a wonderful man, a great singer songwriter. Love him.
Beautiful
Scott's
human
a great
being.
Ambassador, kind of leading the way for all those indie artists. You know.
Yes,
absolutely.
Great guy.
And he's doing it up in Nashville.
Absolutely, yeah. Trying to show them how it should be done there, and also heading to the Clarksville Creative Sound Camp here. Our artist Evie May is celebrating a birthday today, so happy birthday to Evie May here.
Happy birthday, Evie May!
Another year under the belt for Evie.
Yeah, I can't wait for everybody to hear her new stuff. I think one of her songs dropped. When was that? This morning?
Yeah, and that was the video. You can go out and find it now on YouTube. This is Knee Deep in the River. The full video is out there now. The song is phenomenal. Kurt Ryle did just an amazing job with this song here, and it's just a taste of what that whole album's going to be like.
Yeah, we've got so many great artists and great music that has kind of come out. We've tried to space it out a little bit, but it's hard to keep these thoroughbreds from coming out.
It's going to be a deluge of music here, man. Everybody's just got the creative juices flowing there.
Yeah, and Kurt is in the studio. Let's see, he was in the studio yesterday with Lonnie Bartmus, so we got some new stuff from him to look forward to. Lonnie's got that great, nice, rich Merle Haggard type voice, And today, I think he's doing another session. Kurt keeps telling me he's going to take some time off. And the next thing you know, he's back in the studio. He can't stay.
Hey, did he produce Lonnie Spiker and Kathy Jewell?
Yes, I was there when they did that. When they recorded that, that was
that's such a fantastic record. Congratulations on that one. Beautiful. I loved it.
You wait till you hear Kathy's new stuff. She's got a whole album coming out, and she and I have been trying to work on her music video for her first release. You'll hear a Kathy Jewell that you haven't quite heard. I tell you, one great thing about Kurt Ryle as a producer, one of the many great things about him is he brings out your voice, your voice that you didn't even know you had, and he's really done. Not that Kathy didn't already have a great voice, but he's kind of helped her find some range that she didn't quite realize she had, and it shows in this music, and so we can't wait to share that with the world for sure.
You know, hopefully one day I'll get to work with Kurt. He's a great producer, boy. Everything that comes out of that studio has been top notch. Everything.
Well, you should come
love
out.
it.
Clarksville Creative Center is always open to you, buddy. So.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take you up on that.
Excellent.
How about this guy? He's a little stiff right now. I have to loosen him up.
Well, he just needs a Bloody Mary.
I'm telling you, come on, boss. Let's go have a drink. Oh, man.
Just briefly.
His name is Cesar.
Cesar. Yeah.
Cesar, come on, Cesar. He just stands there, man. He's like
Elijah.
Elijah. Well, if Cesar is looking, I say that all in jest. He's one of our dearest friends in the AWA.
I love it. Well, I hope everybody will get plugged into this Fort Worth Musical Moments Facebook group. Hey, look at all the fun we're having here. Yeah, we want you
this was a lot of fun.
I want you to be part of the action. Also, the Clarksville Creative Sound Facebook group and the Rural Strong Media Facebook page. And don't forget, check out Rural Strong Media, Rural Strong Radio, our 24/7 streaming radio station. At RealStrongMedia.com or on the Live 365 streaming radio app. We're out there playing the best in traditional country music, Western swing, and bluegrass with a little Southern rock and inspirational. And we're going to load up that Johnny Angel so you can hear those great cowboy songs. We'd love for you to check it out. Again, RealStrongMedia.com or the Live 365 streaming radio app. Don't forget to join us on Sundays beginning at 9 a.m. Central. Two great programs coming out of Texas. First out of Vidor to the world, it's Robbie Lynn with Sunday's Kind of Country for 3 great hours of inspirational music, heading us into noon Central, 1 Eastern, when we pick up a Billy Bowles for Billy Bowles Swinging Country. We love our Billy Bowles and love having him on the air here every week. And you can also catch the replay at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central on Tuesdays if you miss any of that. So make sure you go check out Billy Bowles coming out of the great studios of KSSL Studios. And don't forget, this automatically archives. So if you missed any portion of this, you can go back and re-rack the tour of New Orleans with Johnny Angel.
Yay! So it's archived right after the show? That's beautiful. I'm going to be promoting.
Absolutely. Yeah, share it around and tell everybody about it. Steve, any last thoughts?
No, that's about it. Been on the phone with Tommy Snyder quite a bit on the American Country Network thing, and things are brewing. We're real excited about that. All the plans that I'm hearing that they've got and that we can be a part of, and so I think it's like rain from heaven for all of us independent artists, what they're wanting to do with that network. And it's not just going to be another TV network. There's a lot of vertical opportunities there for specialized music market platforms and social media platforms, and so the sky's the limit on that deal, and we've got the right guys at the helm to make that happen. So we're really excited about that, and looking forward to the clock is ticking, and we're before you know it, we'll be there in November.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to my brother's festival, birthplace of Western Swing Festival here in Fort Worth. Hall. Mike is sold. He always gets nervous every year, but he sold out. Real quickly on that deal. So that thing is sold out, and standing room only, or dancing room only, we should say. And that dance floor, the cool thing about that deal is from the first note on Thursday afternoon till the last note on Saturday night, that dance floor stays full, and it is such a great atmosphere. And Brent, we're tickled to death that you're going to be there to help MC, and Johnny glad that you're going to come pay a visit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We'll pull you up there on stage for sure to liven things up. And
Thank you.
We're looking forward to that. I'm proud of my brother and everything he's done. And the film, we're going to see the final cut of the film. He's still working on, believe it or not, still editing things in and out of there.
I believe it.
Tweaking it, at some point I got to say, Mike, close the lid on that pot of soup, buddy. But that's just my brother, and it, he wants it to be. And I think we're getting some. And I may be jumping the gun here, but the signals I'm getting is that PBS may take that and do a national syndication release of that deal. To
nice.
As they should.
Move over, Ken Burns. Michael Markworth rolling into town.
I'll put that up against any Ken Burns film.
Yeah.
So anyway, lots of exciting things going on. We're blessed, beyond belief. And so I just want to thank Johnny again for coming in, visiting with us, and taking us on a stroll through the French Quarter. It's been fun. And
thank you for inviting me in. I appreciate being a part of your family. Absolutely.
We'll be back again next Friday, 10 a.m. Central, for another Fort Worth Musical Moments. Until then, for Steve Markward, for Johnny Angel, for all the Cowboys, for all the Pirates there on Bourbon Street, it's Brent Adams. Keep riding tall in the saddle, and we'll see you again next Friday for another Fort Worth Musical Moments. Have a great day, everybody. You've been watching Fort Worth Musical Moments, a production of Rural Strong Media and Clarksville Creative Sound, copyright 2023. Please join the Fort Worth Musical Moments Facebook group and join us each Friday at 10 a.m. Central as we introduce you to another key figure in Fort Worth's musical heritage.